されかけたことあるな。
急にす。
メイベル、どうした？少し土の匂いはするけど臭くはないぞ。
なるほど。
Ojisan, Uncle from Another World is back. We are back after a 2-week hiatus with our Ojisan. And wow, what an episode. Like, I can confidently, I can say it with my chest. Uncle from Another World, our Ojisan is so good. It's so fire. It's such a fantastic anime. Like, I am overly invested every single episode. I am just completely enamored with everything that goes on. Like, this episode, like, oh my gosh. The first question I have to ask you is, like, yo, is Mabel best girl? Like, I love Mabel. Mabel is my type of crazy. And the fact that Uncle, he put a ring on it again. Uncle put a ring on it again. Now he got 2 wives in Another World. And the fact that Japan is referred to as Japan Bahamal, that means he's got 2 wifeys. Okay? He got 2 wives now that could easily, and I'm sure we're going to build up to it, they could find their way to him. If somehow Japan is interconnected, interwoven, interweaved, or connected in some realm, there is a chance that the girls could transfer to Japan proper. There also is a chance that they could either be reincarnated or they can get new bodies from God, just like Oji-san got. There is a chance that that could happen. Now, the way that the story was depicted by Mabel is, it sounds like she descends from 400 years of lineage from somebody who was a transferee or a reincarnated isekai person from Japan to Bahamal, and she descended from there, and that's where her ancestry links back to. But the opposite could very well be true for somebody from Bahamal into Japan. Now, what triggers that? I don't know exactly. The other piece of it, too, is it sounded like the story that Mabel told us was about a samurai who died, right? And then he was reincarnated into Bahamal by God. So I don't know if there's a loophole, a cheat code. I don't know if there's like some kind of other way that they could find their way and transfer to Japan. I would love to see it. I don't know if they could find a way to transfer to Japan with that doesn't include death, and if the reverse also works. I don't know what the answer to that is. But one thing that I do absolutely love is I love how God was all in like she like in, I think it was in Mandarin that the God was. So when Uncle basically traced back the time that he was reincarnated or that he was put into Bahamon, we find out that he was actually spoken to by God, a pre-recorded God, but that God was in the wrong region code. He was in Chinese instead of Japanese. So when God spoke to Uncle, he didn't realize that he was being spoken to by God. So we also found out that most of his powers were innately learned while he was in the world, because the only gift he was really given was the gift of translation. The rest of the things seems like he probably just had like some extra, not bonuses, but there were some extra abilities that he was granted just by transferring. And instead of a bonus like a cool sword or something, he was only granted translation abilities, which is still really useful if that wasn't like a prerequisite to transferring. So that was really cool. The other thing too is as we build up to Uncle's as we build back to the point at which Uncle transferred back to Japan, the thing that made him different was that he had a body to come back to. He was in a coma, and I'm wondering, what did he do? And that'll give us more insight. What did he do that caused him to get shipped back to Japan? Did he find a portal? Did he find an exit? What did he find? And can the girls find that as well? I'm assuming that he found some kind of portal or maybe a spell or something. So I'm hoping that when we find that out, that the girls also find that out. Whether it's Mabel or both of them, I'm hoping that they find that out as well and make their way back to Uncle and destroy his life by having 2 wives. But I love, like, again, I love this episode. I love that he told us an assassination story, and it was really about just an obsessive, introverted girl that he caused. He basically ruined her life. She destroyed the village. She froze all 100+ villagers. The villagers destroyed her home and made doghouses out of it. They were holding grudges the whole entire time that she was just taking up space there. So villagers got back. She completely destroyed them. I like how our favorite elf girl, when she went to go check on Uncle, she didn't see anything besides the ring that he put on Mabel. And I was laughing my freaking ass off at that. Like, she came in the room, her eyes glazed over, and she saw Mabel there. She saw him on top. And her first thing was like, yo, that ring, though. And she was like, yo, get him. Get him. I love that quite a bit. Overall, like, this episode was absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely a great return to form for Oji-san. I really think that this is the best new anime of the season. Like, each and every episode is just, it's fire. It's just fire. I think that this season has greeted us to anime that's unique and like a masterpiece in its own right, Call of the Night. And then I think on the opposite end, I think Oji-san's nailing every episode. Like, I'm hesitant to say masterpiece because it's hard, for those, like, I feel like you have to be really special, but like, it's nailing every episode. If it's not a masterpiece, it's a damn near close to like the most solidest 9 out of 10 anime you can get. Like, it's fire. And it hits every single chord with me watching it. And I found myself this episode yelling, Uncle, take responsibility when it came to Mabel. Like, our boy needs to take responsibility. Also, I just love how he keeps disappointing nephew. He keeps disappointing his nephew every single episode. And I like how, there's never a surprise anymore to the disappointment that they feel. But overall, will the girls make it back? Who knows? I really hope so. But I love the continued stories. I love the tragicness. I love that, the being confused for an orc and all the different hardships he had to face because of that. All right, I'm going to leave you guys on that. But let me know, is Mabel best girl? You tell me in the comments. All right, my friends. See you all next week. Oji-san.